This video is a review of our experience using Harvest Hosts and Boondockers Welcome, a membership-based program that offers unique stays to RVers and van lifers.
We're Jake and Emily, the two roaming souls. We've been full-time or part-time van lifers for the last 6 years, uncovering the best experiences at each destination. We have been using Harvest Hosts for years, so we have plenty to share about our experiences with the program.
One of the biggest challenges for our community is finding convenient, affordable, and safe places to park overnight. And sure, we love dispersed camping way out in remote areas for free, but camping near cities or popular attractions is often much more challenging. Traditionally, your only options were campgrounds or RV parks, which, in our opinion, are pretty pricey for what you get. Or there's street parking or the increasingly rare and restrictive business parking lots like a Walmart parking lot, but those two options never feel quite as safe and it can be hard to get a restful night of sleep.
But Harvest Hosts offers unique camping experiences that we find so much more worthwhile. Their platform connects RVers and other vehicle campers with welcoming businesses across the US and Canada. This mostly includes farms, wineries, breweries, museums, restaurants, golf courses, and more. Participating hosts open up their property for campers to stay overnight in exchange for patronage of their business.
We travel for new people, places, and experiences, and Harvest Hosts satisfies all three of those in a really cool way. And it's cheaper than campgrounds and much safer and quieter than street parking or business parking lots.
For access to the network of Harvest Host locations, you pay for an annual membership. They have 3 different tiers: Classic, Classic Plus Boondockers Welcome, and All Access, which includes Classic, Boondockers Welcome, plus golf courses and country clubs.
With a Classic membership, you gain access to unlimited stays at over 5,000 participating locations in their network. And while there are no camping fees at Harvest Host locations, for each stay it is requested that you spend at least $30 at the business. This could be something like farm fresh produce, museum tickets, wine, craft beer, and more. This money all goes directly to your hosts, and it's the only compensation they receive for participating in Harvest Hosts, so it is a vital part of the program.
And when Harvest Hosts acquired Boondockers Welcome in 2021, we were psyched. Boondockers Welcome is made up of a collection of over 3,500 hosts who are just regular folks willing to let campers park in their driveway or on their property. With Boondockers Welcome, there is no obligation to buy anything or pay for your stay. Simply a friendly review and a thanks is sufficient. We are really so grateful that this many people volunteer as hosts for little in return.
And the most expensive All Access membership includes both previous tiers, plus the addition of nearly 400 golf courses, country clubs, and golf resorts. We're not really golfers, so we can't speak much to this, but I imagine if you are a golfer who travels, it would be such an awesome and convenient way to experience golf courses across the US and Canada.
But there are some rules and restrictions about who is eligible to become a Harvest Host and Boondockers Welcome member. You must have a self-contained RV, camper van, or similar. Here is a complete list of the most common vehicles allowed. And self-contained basically just means that you need to have your own toilet inside your vehicle with an appropriate wastewater holding tank.
And some things that are not allowed are tents, rooftop tents, and sleeping in cars, trucks, etc.
And outdoor cooking is also prohibited at most locations.
Check out the FAQ on the website if you need a little more clarification on the requirements. If you own an RV, you probably already have the toilet requirement covered. But if you have a more DIY type camper like ours and want to satisfy this requirement, we have an article on our website about all the best affordable toilet options. Click the link in the top right or in the description below.
I think one of our favorite things about Harvest Hosts is the huge variety of experiences and the people you meet along the way. Here's a look at just some of our favorite recent stays. Backyard Farms. This small family-run farm was such a unique and personal experience we enjoyed. It's primarily a goat farm, but they have some other animals as well. The hosts were happy to show us around and introduce us to their little slice of paradise. Seeing the passion and connection they have to their animals was just so heartwarming. And they have loads of great things to buy, like goat cheese, homemade soaps, local honey, fresh eggs, and more.
Bridge 99 Brewery. Breweries are probably our most visited type of Harvest Host location. We visit tons of breweries when we travel, and it's always an easy choice for us since we'd probably end up at a brewery anyway. And obviously, drinking and driving don't mix, so it's nice to be able to properly indulge at a brewery or winery without worrying about driving after. And Bridge 99 is a pretty memorable one for us. We enjoyed a couple hazy IPAs and their delicious pizza. And there's several other breweries in the area too, so we were able to do a little neighborhood brewery hopping all on foot.
The Peach Fork. This winery in western Colorado offered one of the most peaceful camping locations we've had. We enjoyed a wine tasting flight that afternoon and in the evening tucked in right amongst the trees.
Precious Things Fermentation Project. This small family-run brewery is located in a beautiful farmhouse-style tasting room, and it's like a shrine for beer lovers. But it was honestly the hospitality of the owners that really made it memorable. They opened up just for us and one other Harvest Host member and instantly treated us like old friends. We chatted about life, travel, beer culture, and more, all while enjoying their delicious beers. Their Among the Pines Pilsner is probably the best Pilsner we've ever had. Using Harvest Host. Harvest Host offers a website and a mobile app as the primary way of using your membership. Both offer a great interface for finding and booking stays, communicating with hosts, and more. Since we're often on the move, we find ourselves using the app most of the time. The primary screen is a map view that makes it easy to find places nearby or for planning an upcoming trip. You can toggle different filters to help narrow your search, like by date, host type, rig length, or hosts that offer hookups, or the option for extra nights.
And honestly, making this video, I just learned something new. Filtering by date is something we always ignored. We would always check hosts' availability one by one, but filtering by date saves you so much time by showing you only the ones that are available for the dates you need. Or another tool they have is the Route Planner. It allows you to put in your trip with multiple stops and see possible hosts for your journey.
Requesting your stay. Once you find a stay you're interested in, click on the icon to learn more. There's information about their business, reviews, hours of operation, amenities, parking surface, number of spaces, and lots more. Then check availability on the upcoming calendar and request an open day. Once your request is sent, you wait for the host to approve your stay. In our experience, most hosts reply within a day. And for dozens of stays we've had, we've only been rejected one time.
We've been using Harvest Hosts for years, and they are continually making changes to improve the program. Like, they've pretty much addressed many of the common complaints from members and hosts. For example, allowing same-day requests, adding more filters to refine the search, and most recently allowing multi-night stays and encouraging more hosts to offer water and electric hookups. Previously, Harvest Hosts was only for single-night stays, which was fine if you're constantly on the move, but now they added the option for hosts to allow up to 4 extra nights. It's a new feature, so we're not totally sure about the pricing, but some of the ones we've seen so far are $10 or $20 extra per night, or some are free. But extra nights are a very welcomed new feature, because sometimes one night just wasn't enough time to explore a new area. So even just 1 or 2 extra nights can make a big difference.
And just for clarity, multiple night stays has already been the norm on Boondockers Welcome for as long as we can remember. Another newer feature is hosts offering water or electric hookups. I think this was probably the most common request from RVers looking for a little more on-grid conveniences. And this is also now one of the filter options, making it easy to find these types of hosts. So just seeing the effort that Harvest Host puts into improving the experience for both hosts and members is very appreciated.
Visitor etiquette. An important part of being a Harvest Host member is being a respectful visitor. However, what is acceptable varies a lot based on the host and the location. The more strict ones tend to be parking lots with other neighbors or businesses around, whereas rural hosts can often be much more lenient, often encouraging you to make yourself at home. Beyond the 2 essential rules of keeping your cooking and bathroom needs inside your vehicle, you should follow other camping common courtesies, like don't be too noisy, don't leave any trash around, don't dump your gray tank, etc. Another general rule of thumb is to keep your impact just to the footprint of your vehicle, unless the host tells you it's okay to spread out.
Communication. An important part of using Harvest Hosts or Boondockers Welcome is communicating with the hosts and reading their host rules. And this is maybe a little different than you'd be used to with campgrounds. Some businesses are super flexible and just ask that you show up within normal business hours, but other smaller businesses may open their doors just for you. So it's important that you communicate well because they may be going out of their way just to accommodate your visit. You kind of just need to feel out the situation. Some hosts might just welcome you with a simple hello or messaging through the app. Or on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we've been invited to a family barbecue or had a private brewery tasting with the owners.
Let's talk about some of the potential negatives of Harvest Hosts. The obligation to interact with hosts can be a negative at times. Like, Jake is pretty much willing to socialize at any time, but I get a little more socially drained from traveling, so sometimes I just don't feel like socializing with hosts much, but I don't want to come off as rude or ungrateful. And I'm sure it goes the other way as well, with some guests not taking the hint that maybe it's time to head back to their camper for the night.
Another potential downside is the pressure to book in advance, but this one only bothers us because of the way we travel. The freedom to travel without a set schedule is one of the things we love most about van life. So sometimes booking with Harvest Hosts feels a little restrictive, or we miss out on a cool stay because we didn't plan ahead. But even if you like to go with the flow a little more, don't worry. It's not anything like national park campgrounds that book up completely months in advance. We still often book most of our stays within a week or less of our visit, but just be aware that those highly sought-after locations, like near national parks or close to city centers, those ones tend to book up the farthest in advance.
And the other possible inconvenient part of Harvest Hosts is needing to show up during business hours. And it can be a somewhat restrictive factor to your travel plans. As you can imagine, when traveling sometimes, it's just not possible to arrive before they close. But again, if you just communicate well, most hosts are reasonable people and they might be flexible to accommodate your plans, either staying open a little later or allowing you to patronize the next day.
So, is Harvest Hosts worth the money? Some people might be scared off by the annual membership fee, which as of this video for Harvest Host Classic plus Boondockers Welcome or All Access are $99, $169, and $179 respectively.
But they usually have some kind of discount going.
Or there are more singular type memberships, like for just Boondockers Welcome or Harvest Host Plus Golf. And of course, there's the obligation to spend at least $30 at each Harvest Host location. But considering that most campgrounds and RV parks charge at least $30 per night, often closer to double that, it's easy to see the value in that. Obviously, campgrounds do provide some amenities that you probably won't get at a Harvest Host location, like full hookups, showers, laundry, etc.
Personally, our camper van is designed more for off-grid boondocking. As in, we don't have hookups for water, electric, or sewer. So at least for us, paying for campgrounds isn't really worth the money. And we'd much rather pay for the experience at a Harvest Host location. And upgrading to the middle tier membership that includes Boondockers Welcome makes it much easier to justify the cost, considering that you can often stay multiple nights with Boondockers Welcome hosts and it costs you nothing extra.
One sort of hidden value of Harvest Hosts and Boondockers Welcome is the convenience of some of their locations. We always struggle to find safe and affordable places to park overnight in cities or near airports. And we're based in Colorado, but don't really have a true home base, so that means we're often coming and going through Denver and using the airport. But again, camping and overnight parking around here is pretty tough, so we've gotten a lot of value out of the convenience of some of the locations around Denver. And we also use it often when traveling to new cities and need a good place to park overnight.
Plus, most stays provide an opportunity to ask locals for some good recommendations. Not all stays are super personal interactions. Sometimes you're kind of just another customer, but other times you're welcomed like family. And honestly, those more intimate personal interactions are probably the most valuable but hard to quantify thing about being a Harvest Host member. Like traveling to a completely new place where you don't know a soul, and instantly being connected with local small business owners welcoming you into their world. Oftentimes, it's even like getting a free tour of the things they are most passionate about.
So especially when factoring in the value of these unique experiences, we feel that Harvest Host is totally worth the money. Obviously, the more times you use your membership, the easier it is to justify the annual fee. But even if you're not traveling for months or years at a time like us, typically just using it 3 to 5 times per year is enough to justify the cost.
And currently, Harvest Host is offering an even better sign-up deal than the one from our screen recording shown earlier. Between now and January 1st, 2025, they're offering 30% off new memberships with the code HOLIDAYHH. Signing up with our referral link in the description is the best way to say thanks if you enjoyed this video. We receive a small commission at no additional cost to you, and it can help keep this channel running to bring you more helpful reviews.
And head over to our website, tworoamingsouls.com, for even more information about joining Harvest Hosts.
And we'd love if you could give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful.
Subscribe to our channel for more travel and adventure content, and we'll catch you on the next one.